Hi everyone, today we're going to create graph with ChartJS and also our NodeJS. Yeah, so let's check out what is ChartJS. Alright, check out the ChartJS. ChartJS basically is a library for us to create chart. Yeah, so you can access, you can look Google search chart.js. Let's get started. Okay. So this is a sample code for us to create a chart. So let me try to use this. Okay, let me make a copy of this and create a chart. So how do we do that? Let's create a new text document. I call it chart.html. Alright, and then let's open it with my notepad. Let me paste this code here, save it, and you close it. And now we can open it. Yeah, that's how easy to use a chart. Now, of course, if you look at the code right from the chart, you realize that this data are actually hard coded. Yeah, hard coded. Let's look at the code. Open with Sublime text. Alright, if you look at this code, you realize that this one are actually hard coded. Yeah, if you look at this red, blue, yellow, you look at the chart, red, blue, yellow, right? And then these are the numbers. If you want to change this number, you probably have to refresh it again. So now we want to have a mechanism that we can actually update these numbers, without actually have to refresh the page. That is when probably the best time we want to make use of Ajax. Yeah. So we want to make use of Ajax JavaScript. All right. So I'm going to give you this. I'm going to make an example of how to do this as well. All right. Let's get started with our server. So we keep this file around, and then yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to open up my server again. Okay, I'll start with the terminal. Let me close all terminal, open the terminal. All right, let's create a new folder again. So I'm going to create a new folder called my chart. I'm going to change into this my chart folder. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to npm init again. So I'm going to npm install express. So install the module that I needed. I should have the module I needed already. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a program where I can actually deliver this chart via the our web server. So let me create a web server. So let me do server.js. Okay, and I already have the code here. Let me put the code in. So let me copy and paste it up. This is the code that we need, and then okay, we have to have our. This one is allow us to serve the chart. Okay, let me change this to chart.html. Okay, so of course we have to have the chart, and let us fire up the server here. Okay, so it's port 3000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I have to put this file inside here as well. Yeah, if you are using Bitwise, we can use a file transfer protocol, my chart, and I want this guy to be here. I can just drag and drop here. Okay, and so it's inside. You can see my chart is here. So let's run this server.js. So when the server.js is running, so let's try this time not running from here anymore, but rather from this chart. Okay, from the server. So the server is HTTP. I think our IP address 1 to this one, but the port is 3000. There you go. So you can see now I can have my chart. I get my chart via my NodeJS from the server. Okay, but again, the thing is that this data is not updated, so I need to update this data using Ajax. So how do we go about the Ajax? Alright, so let me stop this server. Let's update this file again. Let me make sure I completely end the project, the server. Let me code this again. So how do we need to go about this? Let me find you an example of a so-called the an Ajax example. Let me find you an Ajax example so that you can get to see how easy to use a NodeJS. Okay, with Ajax. Okay, let me do this. So we're going to have an example of Ajax. So let me create a file called ajax.html. Okay, so it's just a simple HTML. Basically, we have a JavaScript inside. I have a small portion of a JavaScript that actually go and request data from the server and update the HTML. So basically, that is the whole idea of it. So let me, I have this code ready here. Let me paste it here. Now let me walk through this with you. Yes, I know at the first place it looks a little bit intimidating, but look at here. Basically, it's just an Ajax demo. When you have a button where you can click and then it will fetch the data, and of course we have this div here just to update the output later. So if you look up right at the top here, now let me cover this one. We don't need this one. Now let me look at here the fetch function. Now the fetch data, right, basically they will perform a HTTP request. This is what we call an Ajax. Yeah. So you go to our server. Okay, go to our server, 3000, the IP address, I already set it as the same. And this time we say that you go and call this get data. Okay, and this get data will return you a JSON that it can be used to update, okay, the HTML. And this is actually done without refreshing the whole thing. Okay, so this is the beauty of our Ajax here. Of course, when you call this get data, you need to return JSON in this format with title and also body. Yeah, so it's get data. So remember this one. So we have this Ajax and get data. So now I'm going to go to my server again. So there are a few files here. Yeah, it's a bit. So this one you can just think of this server.js is basically the handling the server. So when you access to the first time, I will send you my ajax.html. Okay, let me save this. Let me run this again so that you can check out you can actually observe the differences. So once I run this one, now when I run this again, I get this Ajax demo. So instead of loading me the chart file, now it's actually sending me the Ajax. Now of course when I press this button, there's error now because there's no data. So when I press this fetch data, what is expected? So it's actually going back to the web server and asking for another resource. Now in this case, so let's do that for our server. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a data, okay, just to reply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a data.txt. Okay, it's just a very simple file. I'm just going to return the data. Now I know that the Ajax is asking for something called like title. I'm going to put this in a JSON format. Hello. Body. Yeah, this I remember I showed it to you, right? This is the format that is expecting us. Now I'm going to send this data over to the Ajax via our server again. So we have to make sure that they come and get from the same place. Yeah, they're asking for the data. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to have one giving you the HTML. The second time when you come back, if you have this function called getData, I will return you data.txt. Yeah, so basically that's the idea. When you come in, first time, I'll give you this Ajax.html. When you press the load data, the back end of this load data will actually come and request data from getData, and getData will return the data from the data.txt. So let me show you this one. So let me run this server. Now it's running. Now let me refresh. So when I press now, I'm actually requesting data from the data file that I have. Okay, let me show you another example. Let me close this. So let me show you that is actually loading it very nicely. So let me change to my chart. Okay, let me update data.txt. Okay, let me update with like hello2 world 2. Okay, let me update this file. Now once I updated this file, right, you can see this guy has not updated yet, but until I press again, yeah, you can see it's actually requesting the data from the server again, but you realize that I'm actually not doing a refresh. So this is actually the beauty of Ajax. Okay, now that you understand the concept of Ajax, we are going to put this thing combined with our chart.js, okay, our chart.js, so that it will automatically request the data, request the data from the server, and then from there we can draw the chart very nicely. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do it. So this is the first thing I need to do it. Here. Oh yeah, I think before that, let me show you one more thing about this. Now the server is running now. Let me stop the server. Let me change the Ajax a bit. Now the Ajax, alright, if you realize just now I actually commented this one. This one basically is very interesting. So when you set the interval, then I don't have to press this button to actually reload. It will just call the function on its own every 2 seconds. So let me do this as well. Let me run the server. So let me refresh. So you see, 2 seconds later, yeah, it will automatically update this. And in other words, I can just save this file, and 2 seconds later it's updated on its own. So in other words, we can actually make use of this to automatically update the data in our chart data. Yeah, so now we understand the Ajax very well. Now it's time to modify our chart in a way that we can actually use Ajax to update the data. Alright, perfect. Now let's how to do that. Let's really create another chart. Let me update the chart. Let me chart.html. Okay, so now you can see that this code has got no Ajax inside here. So I want to add it with an Ajax. So this is the one. So let me paste and show you this one. Okay. So this one is with a script, and this script inside there is Ajax here, and I'm actually accessing asking for the data, asking the data via this function called chart data. So I'm just keeping everything small, I thought that would be easier. And once we get the data, we will update the labels, we update the data set, and we set it by the interval automatically. Yeah, probably I want to set it like 2 seconds. Let me save this. Alright, so now I have the chart already. So let's stop the server. let me stop over here. So when you come and access, so I'm going to giving you the chart again. All right. Now this time, when to get the data, okay, you get chart data. I'm going to have another file called chart data. All right. So this is basically the same thing. Okay, the chart data. So of course, I have to create a file chart data.js. So what chart data is expecting us to provide? Okay, so it's expecting us to provide in a JSON format in such. Okay, this is an example. So in a JSON format, this is an array of the labels, and this is the data. Okay, I'm going to save this file as chart data. So you realize that the idea is the same. That's we have the chart, and then there's an Ajax inside that will come in and get the chart data. So let's check out our server again. Make sure there's chart data, getting the chart data correct. Okay, this is correct. So I think we can run this server already. Okay, again, when you see this guy, is that the address is actually being used. Let me see if I can kill this. Okay, I think I killed the process. Now it's running. So I am going to refresh this. Now I got a chart here. Okay, now I want to try to change the numbers. Look at the June. Okay, let's say if I want to change the June value to, for example, 14. Yeah, now it's 4. I want to move it to 14. Let me change this to 14. When I save it, you can see that 2 seconds later, this data is actually being updated already. So in other words, now what you need to do left is to write a program to update either the chart.txt, or you can have a service that actually return the data from your database so that the chart can be updated on its own. Yeah. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.